Alright, print fam, welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm going to show you all the steps that I take to produce a white toner print. So first things first, we open up the rip and we move over to overprint, since that's what I use for t-shirts. I have my artwork file pulled up over on this other part of the screen. I'll drag and drop it over top and it's going to load it up. I typically make everything in Illustrator or Photoshop, just depending on the customer. So we can see a preview of the design. It automatically flips it because it knows that it's an overprint. I'm using Unit 2-step standard. I only need one copy of this. So everything is good here. Now we just need to make sure the printer's on and then load up a transparency, right click and push print, and it will be ready to do the marrying process. All right, I've got the 600, but the process is basically the same for all printers. Probably if I were to start over, I would have bought the 550 instead. Links to purchase these printers are down in the description. So we'll go ahead, power this bad boy up. It only takes about 20-30 seconds. We'll come over here to my drawer where I keep my toner transfers. And right here, this is the B. We don't need that. Not yet anyway. We need A. So we'll open this up. We need one sheet. So we are going to take this one sheet. We are going to set it here in the bypass tray. Lift it up. Slide it in, close it, and this is ready to go. So let's push print. If I can reach it over here. Print. It's going to take a second here. See, now it says processing. It's going to suck this up here. Thinking. There we go. Suck it in there and spin it out of here. Beautiful. Now we're ready to marry it. So, heat press 310, set for 120 seconds. I just have it down. I don't have it pressed down, but I just have it resting on the bottom platen because you want to make sure you warm it up. That is super key to make sure you get a good press. So the other thing I like to do is I like to put it down just to see what my pressure is. So right now it's a 1. That is way too light. So I usually like to have mine way too hard. I usually like to have mine at like 7, somewhere around there. The higher you do, kind of the better it is sometimes. If you have a lot of holes or fine details, you want to do a little bit lighter, or else you're going to get the adhesive in spots that you don't want. So first thing you do, put the print down. I've got my marrying sheet right here. Well, let me just flip this around, it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so we've got our print side up, adhesive side down, because we are gonna marry them. So what I usually do is I put them together, and usually the bottom I have to kind of move up a little bit. And then I always push this down. Usually the first couple sheets that I'm doing, it hurts my hand, then I usually get used to it. I also fold this corner to make it easier to grab. And then you want to make sure you have a sheet to cover it. Put it in, 7 pressure, 120 seconds. you want to have a cloth ready, and as soon as it comes out, wipe it down and peel it. So I'll show you that. All right, timer is about to go off. So I usually go over a few seconds just because, or I'll be in the other room, and as soon as I hear it, I'll come in. I'm not tied to the 120 seconds. A little bit more is usually fine, but having a good heat press for the marrying process is super key. I will link to this press along with a few others that I suggest down in the description. So rub it for about 5 seconds, and then I use this to hold it because it's really hot, and then peel away. I go slower than what I see most people do, but it works for me. This design has 4 on the sheet. I only need to be successful with 3 of them. This is for a left chest. As long as I get 3 of them, I'll be happy. Just lost that one. And I lost that one. Dang it! Bah! Just barely. Almost the same. It is the same. Well, nope. Slightly different. So you can see right there, right there. That is too bad because I only needed 3. I probably could have squoze another one in here. We'll have to print another sheet. So I'll do that. We'll skip to the pressing of the shirt for you. All right, so we've got the shirt threaded on to the platen. We've got this super large left chest. It's bigger than my liking, but this is Bob and his customer. So it is what it is. Threaded on so that we're not having to deal with the extra thickness. You do want to have a protective sheet when you do the initial press as well as the secondary press. If you're using the same sheet that you do the marrying process with, be careful, because like if you look here, you can actually see some adhesive on this one. So make sure you're either super careful or just use one specifically for the pressing process, one specifically for the marrying process. Links to sheets will be down in the description. But I need to get a new sheet because this one has adhesive on it and I don't want to ruin the shirt. And we'll get this pressed. So we do different temperatures based off of what type of garment you're doing. This is a 50/50 cotton poly. It's the PC55T. It's the tall version from Sanmar. So put it on. I like to do about 7 pressure, just like I do with the marrying process. Takes 30 seconds, and then you want to let it completely cool before you peel it to then do the final marrying process. So I'm going to press all 3 of them, let them cool. I'll show you the peeling process. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. This is completely cool. I usually just sit down at my desk, move my keyboard, and do this. Don't have to wait 10 minutes, but I was doing another project. I always try to do that, try to not rush these, because if you let them cool all the way, you don't have problems. But I like to make sure I have plenty of room on at least an edge or multiple edges that I can roll it. And typically if you roll it, then it just kind of comes off quite easily. I try to go slow so I can watch it, because if I see that it's sticking to the transparency sheet, then I can stop, press it again, and usually save it. But doing this one-handed, it's not that easy. So I have seen people rip it off. I've ripped them off before and it works, but I prefer tried and true, simple method. So now that we've got this done, you can see that it came off very nicely. Then we just need to do one more press, same temperature, same time. You just want to be careful when you pull off the craft paper because sometimes it's too hot and it will peel this off with it. Usually if you fan it for a minute or just wait a second, then you can peel it off, but I'll show you that step too. All right, thread it on again, cover sheet, 30 seconds, and you should be good. The second press also removes kind of the glossy finish, and it gives it a more matte finish, and it also seals it better so that it has better washability. So again, I usually take it pretty slow, and I usually kind of peel it and watch it to make sure that it's not coming up. It's all done. I hope that helps you a little bit more with understanding how white toner transfers are done. I find it very useful in my business to have. Like I said earlier in the video, if I had to redo it, I'd probably buy the 550 instead of the 600 because I don't ever do big prints. I always do little stuff because to me, it's not worth doing the big prints because if you're marrying and you mess up, then you lose it. Just like I did with these shirts, the transfers ended up costing double because of the mistake. So if I had to do 3 shirts and all 3 of them had an issue in one little spot and it was a full back, then I'd be redoing all of the transfers versus little left chests, hats, things like that. Love it. Beautiful thing. So hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, leave them down in the comments. If you want to pick up one of these printers, links to buy one are down below. Thank you as always for watching. Thank you, Cam, for watching. And we'll see you in the next one. Print fam.